Hi, I'm coming to you again this week with a whole new set of recommendations. Let's get going. First, I'm recommending Disney's Tron. This is the two-disc special edition. It's not too hard to find. It comes with two discs, as you can tell, and the second disc features documentaries. The commentary on the disc uh, is pretty interesting. The insert doesn't have too much more than the listings, but it's an excellent movie. It features David Warner, Jeff Daniels, and Bruce Boxleitner for fans of Babylon 5. Of course, David Warner was also in Babylon 5, Star Trek, and virtually everything else. He's an awesome actor. He plays the villain, in which I think he was well suited to be, and it's an excellent movie, even for a Disney's attempt at a sci-fi epic. Next, I'm recommending the BBC production of C.S. Lewis's The Chronicles of Narnia. If you have never seen the all of the new movies that are being produced by Disney, or if you've never read the classic books, these are wonderful interpretations featuring Warwick Davis, famous for playing Willow, as well as being in the Hallmark Hall of Fame miniseries Gulliver's Travels, and also for playing Wicket in Return of the Jedi. Uh, in this movie, I believe he plays a mouse, so uh, that's fun. But of course, this features rather low-budget special effects because it was produced by the BBC for television in the 1980s when they didn't really have CGI. It features animation, but it has wonderful acting in it from people who are venerable stage actors as well as television actors. So I recommend you run out and get that. Next, I'm recommending the film Serenity and the box set of Firefly. The entire series is available for only $25 used. This was, of course, the high-end mark. This film was only $5, so together they're $30, and you get several hours of entertainment. Anyone who's a fan of the series probably already has these. If you are not aware that they released this on DVD, I recommend you run out and get it. I actually never really seen the series before, and I wanted to watch it before I went out and got the movie. As it is, I think that the series is even better than the movie. The movie has wonderful commentary on just the basic version disc. It gives it a nice circularity to the actual epicness of the sci-fi story. Um, Many of the episodes feature running commentary by the series creator and many of the actors. So if you run out and get this, it's well worth the money. It's several hours worth of entertainment. If you like westerns and sci-fi, it's easily worth it. If you are just a fan of Joss Whedon, even more so. Next, I'm recommending another box set. This is the Mel Brooks Collection, and it's basically a collection of the basic bare bones discs uh, by this wonderful comedic director uh, that are, many of them are actually quite hard to find. For instance, I was never able to find a copy of The 12 Chairs, Silent Movie, High Anxiety, History of the World Part 1, or To Be or Not to Be, which is one of my personal favorites, even though it's a remake. Um, it is still one of the funniest. It does feature Robin Hood Men in Tights, which is not as good. It does not feature Spaceballs or Dracula Dead and Loving It. Those you'll have to get elsewhere, but if you want the other movies, they're all here. None of the discs are really special editions, so if you have the special editions and you really like the features on there, I recommend you hang on to them, just because you will save yourself a little bit of frustration in the end. And this is just really fun for people who like these other films that are really hard to find. Next, I'm recommending everyone's favorite movie, the offbeat fantasy comedy, The Princess Bride. This is the special edition I was able to get for $6 at the local game exchange. You can pick it up anywhere. Anyone you know on almost any college campus can quote it verbatim, very often all the way through the entire movie. It features Carrie Yules and God, so many actors I can't even name it. Um, but it's an excellent movie. If you haven't seen it already, where have you been? Uh, it is one of those few movies that has remained a classic all ever since it was created. Um, of course, Peter Falk and Fred Savage uh, play the framing characters of the grandpa telling his grandson Next, I'm going to recommend a Rankin Bass classic from the 1980s. If you haven't seen the animated version of The Return of the King, this version, compared to the Peter Jackson Wingnut Films version, is not as good. But it is worth the money simply because it is a bit of camp, it is pretty fun, it has some really good music, uh, but it is more geared towards the kiddies. So, um, actual fans of the books may not enjoy it as much, but it is a little bit less severe and a little bit less scary than the Peter Jackson version. So, if you want to introduce your kids to Tolkien, I recommend this version. Unfortunately, it does try to summarize a lot of what happened in the Two Towers, um, uh, but it is a lot better than the Ralph Bakshi version, which for the kiddies would not be any fun at all. This, however, is an excellent family movie. Um, I It does have a fair amount of information on the disc. No real documentaries or anything special because it is geared towards family audiences. Next is the antithesis of a family film, the widescreen collection Team America World Police. This is a bit of a forgotten little treat from the creators of South Park. It features documentaries on the disc, uh, uh, all kinds of elements that are just bizarre. The story itself is really funny, really edgy, really political, and talks about a lot of issues that we're still dealing with today. Um, Even though it's several years after this was originally released, I do recommend you run out and get this. I was able to get it for $7. There are copies even cheaper out there. Next is one for the video game fans. Now, if you like CG movies, if you like animated movies as much as I do, you probably already have seen Final Fantasy: The Spirits Within. I was actually able to get the special edition 2-disc, I think it's 2 discs, uh, yeah, 2 discs for cheaper than the regular edition, which cost more and didn't have the cool stuff on it. So you can actually get better editions used than you can the regular editions. This has documentaries on it, commentary, everything. It's wonderful. It talks all about adventure, sci-fi, nature, all kinds of cool stuff. Usually good stuff that you expect if you've played any of the Final Fantasy games. I'm not really into the games myself, but they're fun. Then comes the sequel to Final Fantasy VII, a separate movie called Advent Children. It is wonderful if you've ever sat there and watched someone play the game with all the cutscenes and whatever. It's really good. I recommend you run out and get it. If you're a fan of the game series, you'll love this even more, simply because it brings all your characters back and puts them in real life with voices and characterizations. Next, a few quick recommendations before I go, and these are all television series. So if you really like your television to be on DVD so that you can rewind, record, play back, and you don't want to bother getting a TiVo like I don't, then I recommend you run out and get these. These are all series that were really big and were really short-lived and should have been carried on. This is Clerks. It features all 6 episodes with special behind-the-scenes documentaries, um, animatics, uh, running commentary, everything. Uh, it is based on the movie, but came out before Clerks 2 was released. This series was completely forgotten by the public shortly after it was released. It also features the Super Bowl promotion. Um, but despite only 5 episodes being shown, I think that all 6 episodes were easily worth it. They're all fun, really funny, and in the same style as Family Guy or Simpsons or any of those other movies. Next is In Living Color, the first season. I don't recommend you get the second season simply because it has a lot of repeats from the first season in terms of its sketches. This has all the original stuff. It's funny. It's hilarious. It features Jim Carrey if you love him, Damon Wayans if you love him, Keenan Ivory Wayne, practically half the Wayans family. It's terrific. And lastly, Kingdom Hospital. Great series, a lot of depth to it, a lot of fun. Bye.